So there's been a lot of talk online recently about market manipulation, specifically surrounding some of these Reddit stocks, including AMC. Dated clip, but relevant, guys, of Jim Kramer coming up right now talking about that topic.
You know, a lot of times when I was short at my hedge fund and I was positioned short, meaning I needed it down, I would create a...
It's an interesting interview, and he obviously goes on to discuss a lot about what happens behind the scenes at hedge funds and why. So let's have a little conversation here, guys, on this so-called market manipulation coming from that side of the business.
Yeah, and look, one of the things that he goes on to further say is, you create the impression that like stronger stocks from the market are weak, and then your short position looks a little bit better. And I think it's an older interview. If you've been trading a long enough time, I think a lot of us have probably seen it and heard about it and certainly watched it. But, as it relates to AMC and the GameStop, we've seen this before because people will talk on Reddit, well, okay, some other meme stocks are getting run up and then falling really hard, and then there's this atmosphere around, oh my goodness, the memes are coming to the downside, or every time there's a 5% pullback, you'll hear the stories be a lot louder sometimes than when the market moves to the upside. I think it's just one of those things where if you're in it if you trade something for a specific reason, a fundamental reason, or you have your entry and you know why you want to be in the stock, understand that there are going to be people on the other side who have an interest against that. So read news stories, not just headlines. Ensure that you have solid foundations behind the positions that you take on. And that's the big takeaway here, because there are always going to be rumors of manipulation. There was always going to be actual manipulation at times that's going to happen in the market. This isn't necessarily a new clip, but when people start talking about there's a share offering, and when it's really just that they are voting on potential future offerings, those little things can get lost if you're not doing your diligence.
So Cramer, I mean, the one thing that I take away from that is he has a quote in there, and he says the mechanics are more important than the fundamentals when it comes to a stock and getting it to move, and even specifically the market. I mean, if you dig down deep enough. And I think that to me says it all, right? And that is that the fundamentals, like we talked about AMC and the fundamentals there surrounding that company, we all know them. So, but it's just like the mechanics behind getting stocks to move, pushing them one way or the other, getting caught on some of these short squeezes today, obviously AMC to the downside, but there was definitely some of that mechanics and taking advantage and utilizing, the strength of, we'll call them the apes, but it's just really the public understanding that, hey, there was a huge short position on. We did have a change in management. And look, for share structure and everything, this can probably get going. And I just think that with the fuel now behind Reddit, behind YouTube, like the videos we're doing now, Twitter, things like that, social media really has changed the game. That didn't exist back in those days when Cramer was talking about that. So now I think the power is more in the hands of the people and less in the hedge funds. But hey, there's billions and billions of dollars behind a lot of these moves, Brendan. And I think this just sort of highlights the fact that things can go a little differently than you may think due to the power behind some of these funds.
You make a great point there, and this is the importance of having these conversations and talking about the way things do operate. And as you mentioned, the power of social media, the power of things like YouTube, where we can discuss what is actually happening versus what is thought to be happening, guys, both on the hedge fund institutional side of things and on the retail side. So it looks like that is thestreet.com that has that clip. So if we can, we'll do our best to link that interview. It's worth a watch, guys. Lots of great information in that interview. Again, yeah, a little bit dated, but still relevant when we talk about these types of things. Here's Valeria.
Hey guys, thank you for this interesting content. Dear viewers, please subscribe to this channel to see more great videos.